Good day, everyone. My name is Maria Kądzielska, and you are watching Poland Daily Culture. Could you imagine being 21 years old and publish 3 books? To run through whole Poland, from Zakopane to Gdynia, and to sail the Atlantic? Tomasz Sobania is such a person. Tomek, thank you for coming to our program.
Thank you for having me.
So let's figure out if he sleeps at all, or maybe he's some kind of superhero. Tomek, you are a young author, but also a runner. You ran 300 kilometers to Santiago de Compostela. And tell me, please, why did you do it, actually? Is writing not enough? Do you have to run as well?
Well, it's quite like I had my dreams, so my dream was to publish a book, so I did it. I did all I could to make it happen. And when I started running, and I started running only because I was always late. So to get there on time to many places, I had to run. And I liked it so bad that when I was 18, on my 18th birthday, I decided to run 30 kilometers just to celebrate. And after that, I thought, what's next? If I run 30 kilometers in one day, maybe next year I could run 70 kilometers and run to Częstochowa from my home. And it happened when I was 18 also. And then the next step was this thought about Santiago de Compostela, because I knew that there are many pilgrims going there, and I thought maybe I can be one of them, but not by feet. I would be a pilgrim that's going to run.
Because you flew to Spain, so where exactly from where you're running?
It was a town called Aviles. It's on the north of Spain, and I chose that city only because it's exactly 300 kilometers from Santiago de Compostela. So I decided to go there, and in 7 days run all this distance.
So then why Santiago de Compostela?
It's because, I ran first to the Góra Świętej Anny, St. Anne mountain. It's quite close to me, 30 kilometers from a place I live on the south of Poland. And the next step was Częstochowa, which is also a very important place for the pilgrims. And the next place I thought about was Santiago de Compostela, and it's also a pilgrimage that I take when I'm running.
So it's all somehow connected to faith as well.
Yes, it is.
Do you feel like God is with you when you run?
Well, yes, I always invite him to do this. Well, it's the most exciting thing in the world for me that the God who's almighty, who created all the universe, he's working with me right there, just running with this small person who just wants to make his dream happen. And that's a fantastic thing.
And after a run, you published a book. 7 days, 30 kilometers, the story of a 19-year-old. How did you told your story?
Well, I told it with the words I've written after this run. After all these things I've learned, I decided to create a book out of that, because I thought it's going to be important. So that's why this book called 7 Days and 300 Kilometers, and the story of 19 years old actually was published.
Very impressive. Do you give advices for people to go running, or how did you also prepare for your run?
Yes, definitely. It's not a common experience how to prepare for the run that's distant, that has 300 kilometers. I give a lot of advices right there, and I tell all the story. And I think this story can be inspiring enough to make people run. That's the aim, just to help them move themselves. And I'm always telling that you don't have to run 300 kilometers. You just have to start, just for the sake of your health and for yourself.
And what would be your advice to people who are preparing for a run or who would like to start running?
Well, first of all, I think they should have some fun out of it. Definitely, you shouldn't go running just to, kill yourself on the train, and that's not good. First of all, you should try to feel this fantastic time, this feeling when you're free, when you can forget about everything that's in home and your work and so on. You can just run and admire the nature, and that's all. Just start with that.
And what was the biggest challenge during the run?
During that run, the biggest challenge was just to start, because when you go there and you know that there are 300 kilometers in front of you, and it's very hard to set your mind to it, it was very hard just to imagine that I can actually do this. And then I told myself it's not 300 kilometers, it's like 44 every day, and it's not that much, just focus on this day. And
so it's a marathon every day, basically.
Yes, it was. It was between 37 to 50 kilometers every day.
In a heat as well.
Yes. If 2 last days were the worst, because the heat was like 35, 30 degrees all the time.
It looks like you have a very huge appetite for life,
yes,
and especially for extremely strange experiences. Now you're studying theology. Tell me, please, why theology?
Well, there were many reasons. Most of all, because I can have some kind of discounts as a student, but that was not the most important thing. The most important thing was that actually I wanted to learn more, that I wanted to meet people who are smarter than me, and to find out many things about God and about philosophy as well, about religions. That's what I'm into. And if I'm study just twice a month on every second weekend, so that's not too much. I can learn a lot, I can meet people, then I go home, I do many different stuff, then I come back to learn, and that's the way I like it very much.
And you're also a strong believer in God, and how God helps you to achieve your goals.
It's not like it helps you somehow and that's why you believe. It's this kind of a relationship that helps you just being calm all the time. I think because I believe that God's always there, that He loves me, nothing bad will happen to me. Even if I have some failures, it is always for a reason. And as my my life experience shows, everything happens for a reason, and that's very good to keep that in mind. And it makes you calm all the time. No matter what happens, you can always be calm because He's there.
To believe that nothing bad happens to you. Could you imagine having so much courage, being 21 years old and telling openly that you believe in God, who is all the time with you and helps you to achieve dreams? I think it's very impressive, and it gives us all courage to pursue what we dream about. And thank you for watching Poland Daily Culture.